Dear students, welcome to the last class of this chapter. In previous class, we discussed about diseases caused in human beings. In today's class, we are going to learn about the diseases causing microbes in animals, disease causing microbes in plants, microorganisms, and food spoilage, food preservation. Anthrax is a dangerous disease that affects human and cattle. It is going to cause by Bacillus anthracis bacteria. This bacteria will be available in the atmosphere. In unfavorable conditions, it will be present in the form of spores. For decades, it will be present in form of spores. When it reaches to the host body, it starts developing rapidly. During this rapid development, this microbes will start releasing the toxic substances and it causes severe illness and the host may face the death also. Foot and mouth disease in cattle. It is caused by virus called foot and mouth disease virus, picorna virus. The symptoms are like this. The wound will be noticed in the mouth part, bleeding will be noticed, and foot part also wound will be developed. Next, coming to the various diseases in various groups of animals. Mad cow disease, tuberculosis, smallpox, measles, E. coli will be noticed in milk-giving animals. Avian flu, chickenpox, salmonella, influenza will be noticed in birds. SARS, influenza, swine fever, Hendra virus, Nipah virus will be noticed in animals like pig. Such all diseases will even spread to human beings. Now, let us see the diseases which will be noticed in the plants. Microorganisms can cause diseases even in plants. Because of this, the production of plants will be decreased. The crop will be decreased. Some of the plants in which they cause diseases are wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, etc. Example of few fungal diseases are leaf rust, stem rust, sclerotinia, powdery mildew. These are the symptoms noticed in the plants when it is attacked by diseases. Here are the few diseases which will be noticed in different crops. Citrus canker is a disease which will be noticed in citrus family plants like lemon, orange, etc. It is going to cause by bacteria and mode of transmission is air. Rust of wheat will be noticed in wheat crops. The green leaves will turn into the pale yellow color. The fungi will lead to this disease. It is going to transmit by air as well as the contagious seeds. Yellow wine mosaic will be noticed in the lady's finger. It is going to spread by insects. The virus will lead to this disease. Now, why do we need to preserve food? Yes, we must preserve food to protect from microorganisms. If not, microorganisms starts developing in the food items and it starts releasing toxic substances. Because of this, the food turns into a poison condition. When we consume it, it leads to various problems. Now, let us know how the food is going to preserve. Chemical methods, preservation by using vinegar, sugar by adding salt as well as adding oil, even sun drying, pasteurization, boiling and freezing. These are the various ways in which we can store the various food items. Let us see the chemical methods. In chemical methods, the juices will be stored. Sodium benzoate, sodium nitrate, sulfur dioxide will be used to preserve soft drinks as well as the eatables in Tetra Paks. Vinegar is used to preserve vegetables as well as fruits. Adding sugar is the best way to store the excess fruits in the form of jams and jellies. By adding oil, fruits and vegetables can be stored as a form of pickles. Sun drying is a common method where the fruit items will be dried. Generally, the vegetables, fruits, as well as meat items will be dried under sunlight. Because of this, the moisture present in the pieces will be totally evaporated. After it becomes dry, it will be stored in airtight boxes. Adding salt also a common method. By adding salt, microorganisms cannot enter into the pieces. When the salt is added, these pieces need to be dried. After drying, they will be preserving for a long period. Pasteurization is the best way to purify the milk. Not only milk, other liquids like beer and food items also will be preserved by following this technique. In pasteurization, the food items will be heated up in high temperature for a few minutes and immediately will be cooled down to the normal temperature. With this process, the microbes present in it will be killed, and by following this method, the taste and texture of the food do not change. The French scientist Louis Pasteur invented this process, which we call as pasteurization. He discovered it in 1862. Boiling also one of the technique where the most of the microbes will be killed by boiling process. Soups will be preserved by this process. And freezing also one more technique. In the very cold regions, the microbes won't become active. So fresh vegetables, fruits, as well as meat items will be preserved in the freezers. This is a common method. Now, let us look into the concepts once again, and I request everyone to prepare one topic about harmful microorganisms. In next class, you are going to speak about this. Thank you. Happy